This is a true life account. It's from This is a true life account from the year 1989. A sister just sent the email back to me, and I just believe that it will bless somebody. So I'm going to read it out slowly. Um, so this is an account of what God did for me in 1989. I'm going to read it out. Um, why has the Lord rescued you and kept you alive all these years? He rescued me. If God rescued righteous Lot, oppressed by the sensual conduct of unprincipled men, in brackets, for by what he saw and heard, that righteous man while living among them felt his righteous soul tormented day after day by their lawless deeds. Then the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from temptation and to keep the unrighteous under punishment for the day of judgment, and especially those who indulge in the flesh in its corrupt desires and despise authority. Bearing self-willed, they do not tremble when they revile angelic majesties, whereas angels who are greater in might and power do not bring a reviling judgment against them before the Lord. This is from 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 11, 7 to 11. He rescued me. What better story than the story of Lot, Father Abraham's nephew? Lot, the nephew of Abraham, out of greed, left the uncle, choosing to live in the environs of Sodom and Gomorrah, and eventually living in the wicked twin cities. Finally, the iniquity and the abomination of the cities rose up to God. The Lord sent angels to deliver Lot out of the doomed cities. Could it have been through a dream or a prophecy? Could not the message have been passed through Father Abraham, the friend of the Most High God? The Lord knows best what he was working out for Lot. Lot had developed deep roots in Sodom, having business ties and having pledged his daughters to be married to some two young men in the city. The angels that were sent to Lot literally hurried and dragged them out of town. Lot was not willing to move out. His daughters and the wife, they were lingering along, and the angels literally had to drag them out of town. And the very day that they left the city, fire fell from on high and consumed the two cities. Lot was rescued big time. Otherwise, he would have perished with his family in the fire. Apart from Lot and his family, no one else escaped from the twin cities. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 9a. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation. The following is not an old wives' fable. It is not meant to be a sensational story. Get behind the headline news and see the reason why the Lord has rescued you these many times from the hands of the destroyer. Remember what the Lord Jesus said, John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And he said, but I have come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. You are still alive for a reason and for a purpose. May the Lord open your eyes to see the reason for your being alive. Testimony time. Are you ready for testimony time in heaven? Just wait patiently as Father Abraham talks about his journeys from the Ur of the Chaldeans to the promised land. Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph would not like to be outdone by Grandpa. Moses joins in with a story about the burning bush. I can imagine him. It will be a very exciting scene. Daniel will recount the encounter with the starved lions. Maybe they should talk about how the angel shut the mouths of the lions. Now, talk about dancing in the fire with the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And bring Peter, brother Peter, oh brother Peter, how he, the fisherman, was saved from drowning by the master, who himself had been a carpenter by training and not a fisherman. Oh boy, there will be no end to testimony time in heaven. But above all, in heaven, we will hear about the exploits of the Lamb of God, the one who took away our sins and forgive us, and is now seated at the right-hand side of God the Father Almighty. The account of the Lamb will be how he went to hell and took over control from the devil. He will tell us about how the devil was shaking and shuddering as he surrendered. One of our problems is that we think we have forever to live on the earth. This is the reason behind our tendency to stray from the Lord. It also explains our inactivity and apathy when it comes to the things of God. Why are you still alive when people you know very well, who might have been even better than you, are dead and gone? There is a reason. The journey. Once upon a time, I was rescued from death 2 times on the same day. It was either late 1988, I believe it was more 1989 early. I was going from the city of Accra in Ghana to another town with some colleagues of mine to a wedding, the town was about 3 to 3 hours away from where we live. I expected us to set off early, but these friends somehow just dragged on and we set off late. A strange thing happened, however, before we left town. I took an extra shirt along with me in a bag, although we intended to come back the same day. I just felt like doing it. In actual fact, the inner witness, the Holy Spirit, was at work that day. When we set off, I begged the young man, my colleague, not to overspeed. His response was, "Don't you know you are riding in a Mercedes Benz?" You see, he was trusting in his chariot. I then told him, we have only one life to live. As he said in Hebrews chapter 9:27, for we must all appear before the throne of God, the judgment seat of God. It's just one life. From all indications right from the start, we were headed for disaster. First, he almost drove through a circle, a roundabout, at the end of a motorway, one of the main roads, highways. He subsequently tried to overtake a fuel truck, actually racing with a vehicle on a 2-lane road with the risk of head-on collision with a traffic coming in from the opposite direction. Not long after, he sped over a speed bump across one of the bridges over the Volta River, which is Ghana's biggest river, and that sent our car flying. Thank God for the passenger belts. Next, he went on speeding and even oversped the junction at which we were supposed to turn. We eventually turned back and got on the right track. I said to myself, deliverance had come, when a young man stopped us and told me that he was a relative of the groom and that he had seen me previously. He was going to drive ahead of us to the wedding. Unfortunately, there was an old man in his car who was a chief, a local chief, who had other plans and demanded that he should first be taken to his holy village. This my angel who was to rescue me showed us which way to go. Said, drive down to a T junction, and he turned left towards the old man's village, and we were to go right. I immediately went back to the worship mode because my friend resumed his reckless driving. I began to sing quietly a Vine song. Vine Song is a group from the UK, and the song was entitled God Answers Prayer. I remember just a part of it where it says, God answers prayer, yes, yes, he does. If I knew how to sing, my life is in you, Lord, I should have rather sung that song. My life is in you, Lord, my strength is in you, Lord. Or maybe I should have sung, nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee. For surely, little did I know that I was very close to going home to be with the Lord. The accident. My friend sped on and sped on and sped on with me in the backseat. The last thing I saw was there was an untarred portion of the road. There was no, it was untarred, it was rough, and that was it. The Lord spared me the rest of the ordeal, and I could have quietly slipped into eternity without even knowing. When my eyes opened, our golden chariot, the Mercedes-Benz, was in ruin and turned in the opposite direction. But there was no scratch upon us. All I saw was some oil on my shirt. The engine was cracked, falling out of the Benz, and was cracked. The car was destroyed beyond repair. And I remember telling him simply and the wife, I told you so. Let's get out of the car. Then the wife exclaimed, you have killed the child. I quickly fixed my gaze somewhere else, not wanting to see the nightmarish sight. You see, this poor little girl from a village nearby was coming back from the farm, carrying some firewood upon her head, when she suddenly saw this out-of-control chariot bearing down on her. In a bid to escape, she began to run towards her village, only to be hit against a metal bridge over a river. This river was connecting a lake, a lagoon on one side, to the Volta River, the big river in Ghana. And they said it was quite a deep river and fast. The current there is quite fast. Now, I'll spare you the graphic details of the site because I did not want to look at it. Thank God for causing me to fade out during the episode. It surely saved my memory from the memory of the accident and the impact. My angel appears. We stood there confused and at a loss as to what to do. You know, in those days there were no cell phones and there was no even regular phone line around us. We also did not know the area. Neither could we speak or understand the local dialect. We didn't even know how far the next town was. Though before MapQuest, etc. Now, the closest place to where we were was the village of this little girl. And surely that was hostile territory. None of us could speak the local dialect. Suddenly, a passenger vehicle, called trotro in Ghana, or in Kenya they call it matatu, appeared. The driver got down and began to hurl insults and swearing at us, swearing and cursing in English. She said, "You foolish doctors, see what you have done." Then he drove us, giving us the verdict. "Today you will see something." I actually should have sung the song now. Nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee. Because our fate was certainly going to be death by mob action. Thank God he did not even give me the chance to begin to worry. God did not give me the chance to begin to worry or analyze my impending end-of-life scenario. I told my beloved back in Accra, we'll be back from the wedding that same day. As my parents did not even know that I had gone on this wedding adventure. What a shock it would have been to them to hear that I had either died in an accident or otherwise at the hands of men. Suddenly, I saw another Mercedes-Benz chariot coming from the direction of the village ahead of us. When the car got to the bridge where we were, the driver quickly got out and screamed, "Get into my car, get into my car." I did not even question him, for I knew that our deliverance had come. I beckoned to my now bedazzled traveling colleagues to come with me. My angel was a police officer from Accra who had come to his holy village for a funeral. I believe he was a human being. If he wasn't, then he was surely a sent angel. He said that in the morning, that morning, while driving over this same bridge, some funny thing happened, and so he had come back to check it out. Well, he should have known that he was assigned to come to my aid at that time. It was not an accident. He was sent to come and rescue me. He told us to put our heads down in the car, and he sped off. Sped through the village where our would-be assailants were. I bet they were surprised not to find us when we got to the site of the accident. As our driver put it, my rescuer, my angel, would have been bashed to death in the event and put in positions in the car to indicate that we actually died in the accident. My angel was not a shiny one, nor did he have any wings. The Lord can choose to use the holy ones that minister in his presence to deliver his people. That is true. Yet he chooses to use men like you and I to minister unto men. Be always open and ready to the angel that God sends your way. My angel took us to the police station in the biggest town on our way. My friend was put behind the counter, but I was left outside. Wow, I said to myself, what if the angry crowd get to this police station? I will be in great trouble. I then remembered the extra shirt. Remember I mentioned it, which I had brought along, and I put it on because the shirt I was wearing was stained with oil. I eventually found my way to the wedding by means of a public transport. Eventually, my friend was bailed at the wedding, and we eventually left the area 2 days after, not on the first day, the day we had planned to, the day of the wedding. When we got back to the city, my next door neighbor's wife told me that she had heard from a colleague at work how 3 doctors on their way to a wedding out of town had died in a car accident. The colleague was actually referring to the accident we were involved in. It is true, I would have been dead, sleeping in my grave 2 times over, if not from the car, from the assailants. I would have been singing Dietrich Haddon's song. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave, but God blessed me to see another day, just reading Dietrich Haddon's lyrics. Even when I did wrong, it was still there. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that God still hears a sinner's prayer. That would have been my song. Why was I spared? And why have you been spared this far? Some of you reading this can remember specific moments when you have been rescued from the jaws of death, from accidents or from sickness. Oh, you may say you know some Christians and good ones such as such whose lives were seemingly cut short by such accident. I remember Brother Keith Green, who gave us songs like "Create in Me a Clean Heart, O God," and he gave us a song, "There is a Redeemer." He died along with 2 of his children, his guests, in a small aircraft crash near his ranch in around 1981, 1982. He died in his prime. He was about 28 years old, and sometimes one wonders what contemporary music would have been like if he were still to be around. Then I remember another person whose song I'm playing right now, Rich Mullins, who gave us, "Our God is an awesome God, He raised from heaven above." He also died in a road traffic accident on his way to a charity concert for the Native American population, amongst whom he lived and ministered. You see, you do not have to experience a near-death event in order to appreciate the grace and mercy of God. As my Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, puts it, if you think like a dying man, you'll be very wise. Question: why did the Lord preserve you all these many times? Oh, as long as I live, I have a chance to live for the Lord and to declare His glory to the Lord. As the psalmist said, I will live and not die to declare the glory of God. Psalm 118. I will not let the grace of the Lord be in vain. Consider all the people healed from severe illnesses by the Lord, the apostles and the prophets and those raised from the dead. Surely they all eventually died, albeit they lived for an extended life period on earth. We do not have an idea of what happened to them from the scriptures. Recently, I got to know about one of them. My big brother, who is now gone on to glory, Reverend Sam Banford, on a trip to Cyprus got to know that Lazarus, who was raised by the Lord in John chapter 11, became the bishop of Cyprus in the church later on in life. His grave is there in Larnaca. He's the only man who had two graves, one in one is in Bethany and one in Larnaca. Moses was delivered from death as an infant in order for him to lead Israel out of bondage. David was delivered from the bear and the lion in preparation for Goliath. Apostle Paul was delivered from shipwrecks and attempted murders in order for him to stand trial before Caesar. Why have you been kept alive till now? Why did the Lord rescue you? It's not by accident, nor by chance that you have been kept alive. For some, it is the Lord's love for you, not wishing that you die and go to hell. If you are one of these, do not postpone making peace with God. Give your life and your all to Him, since you do not know about tomorrow. Hallelujah. Some walk out the song and say, why did He save me? Why did He save you? They say, so that I could be a soul set free. They ask, why did He save me? So you could be His child forgiven. Why did He save you? So that you take His glory to the nations, set apart to proclaim the glorious news. Then He continues, He saved us to show His glory. He showed us to save His glory. Now, thanks be unto the Lord who has delivered us from seen and unseen dangers. It is only when we get to heaven that we will know how often we have been delivered by the Lord. And the songwriter says, count your blessings, count your many blessings and name them one by one. Do not take your deliverances for granted. You will surely die one day and will have to give account of this extra period that God has given to you. Please do not blow this lease on life. John chapter 9 verse 4. We must work the works of Him who sent, Jesus said, we must work the work of Him who sent us as long as it is today. I must. Because night is coming when no man can work. Why did He save you? Why did He rescue me? He rescued me. He gave me a first chance. He gave me a second chance. And I believe He's giving many more chances. I'm here to declare the praises of God Most High. Even as the psalmist said, that God will save me. Hallelujah. He has saved me. He has saved me for me to declare His glory. Psalm 118 verse 17. I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. Even as we are going through this global pandemic right now, God will save you. And when you are through, don't forget that He saved you for a purpose. You will be kept alive. You will be kept alive. You will be kept alive to bring glory to God and to declare to all and sundry the praise of our God and the glory of His kingdom. May the Lord bless you and don't take it for granted. You are alive for a purpose. He has rescued you for a purpose. He rescued you for a purpose. But one day, it's going to be all over. And what I'm going to say with the extra time, looking at 89 till now, 1990 to now, that means I've had 30 years of extra time. And I still have some extra time ahead of me. I have to do my best for God. Father, thank you for saving my soul that day, 1989. Thank you that you kept me alive for a reason and for a purpose. If I failed you, subsequently forgive me. And I pray that you help me to run the rest of my life like never before. I give my life to you, Lord. I give my soul to you. All that I am, my family, and everything, I commit it to you. And I pray that anybody listening to me this moment will also give their best to you, give their lives to you. I give you thanks and I worship you. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. God bless you. And take opportunity and advantage of what God has done for you, and extra time is given to you. May your life not be in vain. May His mercy not be in vain. God bless you. Have a good day.